I'm going to act out my story, and I put on many costumes to represent the many characters in my story. It goes as follows. Once upon a time, there was a prairie dog named Louie. And Louie, many years ago, had his heart torn apart. That rhymes. By a garden rake named Rebecca. Notice the garden rake. The deed Rebecca had done to Louie was she had burned in a pit of everlasting fire Louie's favorite wool socks. She did it like this. She was like, "Hey, Louie, look at this. I got your wool socks. I'm going to burn them in a pit of everlasting fire." And Louie was like, "No, please don't." And Rebecca said, "Sorry." And so she dropped the socks into a pit of everlasting fire. And there the wool socks could never be retrieved. So Louie swore revenge and set off on an epic quest to find Rebecca, the garden rake. He searched for years, for centuries, for millennia, for eons. And after the 5th eon, he came to the Bahama Islands. Here are the Bahama Islands where I speak. And there he met Abraham Lincoln. Notice the beard. And Abraham Lincoln and Louie built a rocket ship. They built it like this. They used Legos, because Legos are amazing. They used Legos. They built the Legos like this. And they built a rocket ship. And they blasted off and went to the moon. And there at the moon, they were riding their dune buggy, riding their dune buggy. And they were walking around like space suits, in the low gravity, and like, ooh. In any case, they realized that all the Earthlings' assumptions about the moon, that it was made of cheese, were totally incorrect. In fact, the moon was made of guacamole. So they collected lots of this guacamole, and it was the most delicious guacamole they had ever tasted in their entire lives. And so, they took it home with them. And as they were landing upon the earth, they beheld a great crowd, a mob, going, "No! Protest against evil! Protest! Because chickens don't get equal rights in our country!" See, what had happened was McDonald's had said, "I'm sorry, but no chickens are allowed in our store." Now, chickens don't go in McDonald's, but for some reason everybody was protesting against this. Even like flowery shower curtains and political scientists and, even a garbage disposal unit, it was insane the amount of revolt that went into this mob. And there, against all the revolting rebels protesting against the actions of McDonald's, was the garden rake named Rebecca. Here's the garden rake, you'll remember. And Abraham Lincoln and Louie took the guacamole they had recently acquired from the moon, and they threw it at Rebecca, the garden rake. They threw it like this, and they said, "No, she's the evil one, not McDonald's. She, Rebecca, the garden rake, is the evil one." And Rebecca realized, when she had this guacamole thrown at her, it was the most delicious guacamole in the world. In fact, the entire universe, for that matter, because it was on the moon, not on the earth, not in the world. And so, she knelt down, and she said, "Louie, what I did was wrong. Please let me have a bite of that guacamole, and I will surrender and be your humble slave for all the rest of eternity." But Louie had other plans. He gave the flowers he acquired, gave them to Abraham Lincoln, who took them graciously, but then sniffed them and he was like, "Pugh, that's nasty." Louis finally had his revenge, and he put Rebecca in a jail where all she had to eat for the rest of all eternity was not delicious guacamole, but rather fettuccine alfredo. But she escaped and now resides in the magic school bus in a cave next to the cave where resides an octopus named Bob. And so the octopus named Bob lives happily ever after up to this point. The end.